But I think in a lot of instances, it's smaller companies that don't do repairs. And I think based on the feedback I've gotten, it's the logistical challenges of, okay, I don't have a team to do the repairs. I don't have a repair tech that I can rely on that's readily available. All right, welcome back to another episode of the Mission Control Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Stearns with Ascend Digital. And we are in Detroit.
Yes, sir.
For the draft, though, baby.
Yeah, unreal.
I'm with my guy, Eric Reno, Detroit's finest. I appreciate you letting me come to your city.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
It's been a great time.
How do you feel about the first round pick for the Lions?
Huge.
Shut down corner.
Oh, God. I was reading all through the grades today. And they're just, usually they down the line. And just his reaction, too, when he got picked, and he's like, I'm home. It's like, man.
Love it.
I'm pumped.
So a lot of folks that watch this show, they're going to be in roofing, obviously. So I get guys that come to me and girls, and they're running a company, and they say, I only do roof replacements. We don't do repairs, just replacements.
Sure.
My question for you is that a good strategy? And then why or why not?
So I love repairs. I think repairs are some of our best margins. And we built an entire repair team. It is a different animal a little bit. Everybody wants to go for the big, quick, let's replace the roof and get done. But I'm more of like, I'm planting seeds every day. So if I can just go for a repair and just plant that seed and like, hey, your roof's still good for 2 more years, 3 more years, 5 more years, then I prefer that strategy. But it is a little harder. Like I'm one of the only companies in my area that does repairs. Yeah. So a lot of the other companies send them to me too, because they just can't get done.
Okay. So from a sales perspective, what would you say as far as percentage of sales that turn from repair to replacement? Like, what does that look like? They start out as a repair and then they turn into a replacement.
I mean, we have a lot of them. I mean, I don't know what percentage it is, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get in someone's house, they trust you. You're the only guy that said, listen, you don't need a roofing, right? Like we can just do a quick repair or a roof tune up or just switch these pipe collars out, get you another 5 years.
Yeah.
When it's that time, they're not calling anybody.
Yeah.
They're not negotiating either.
Yeah. You build that trust, right? And then you can command the price that you deserve. Yeah. And then from the marketing side, like the way that I explain to people to think about it is most people, they're not looking for the most expensive solution initially, right? So they could have a 5-year-old roof, a 25-year-old roof. And if they know there's some sort of issue, they're going to like roof repair, right? So they're going to lead in with the most cost-effective solution to their problem to get that remedy, even if they know in their heart of hearts that ultimately, like, it's time for the roof to be done. So it creates a problem, like when you're trying to focus on like running Google ads, because you have either they're searching for a repair even if they need a replacement, or like the majority of search is going to be in generalized keywords, right? It's going to be roofers, roofing contractors. There's no way for a marketing agency to discern what the intentions of somebody looking for a roofer near me is, right? Could be a repair, could be a replacement, could be storm damage. We don't know. And if that's a large percentage of search, you're alienating yourself and the opportunity as far as like getting in front of that homeowner. It's tough. But I think in a lot of instances, it's smaller companies that don't do repairs. And I think based on the feedback I've gotten, it's the logistical challenges of, okay, I don't have a team to do the repairs. I don't have a repair tech that I can rely on that's readily available. So like, what would your advice be to somebody who is, let's say, a 1 or 2 man operation if they want to get into doing repairs while still growing their business?
Yeah, the best way for me is like to network through the different subcontractors and posting ads like in different Facebook groups.
Okay.
And we're targeting, like, hey, are you sick of working on a roofing crew? Are you tired of dealing with like trying to get paid and chasing down dollars? Like, here's a solution for you. I can work you. I do salary. That way the guys are guaranteed, and here's seasonal. I don't want my repair techs going and looking for work in the winter, right? So I'm paying them whether they're working or not. But I think that's the biggest part of it is recruiting those guys that have talent and that are just sick of the crew life. Because I live that life. That's tough, man.
Yeah.
Every day, we go to different houses, climbing up and down. And as these guys get seasoned and get older, they're looking for something that's a little bit more structured and guaranteed. And I think through a salary position and marketing yourself like that to them is kind of, where I've really found a sweet spot.
Okay. Is that something that a lot of companies do as far as offering salary, or is that something that you feel like you do a bit differently?
Yeah. I mean, I think at our size, it might be a little bit more common, but I don't think so at a smaller size. They're trying to pay, less. If you think about repairs, our net on repairs is much greater, right? Like we're getting a lot more margin on the repair side. So to guarantee them work, it just makes it feel better, right? You're going to get a better quality candidate versus just like, hey, $25 an hour and run around your thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned something that I want to touch on. You mentioned Facebook groups for finding crews and things like that. And it was a very well thought out pitch. So we're going to talk about your pain point. You're tired of not getting paid. You're tired of this, tired of this. Here's a solution. Call me, right? Exactly. But you showed me something last night when we were at dinner. And this is something that I've been preaching for years for people to do because it's so effective, right? So you were in a local Facebook group. What was the area?
Washington Township.
So if you find this Washington Township Facebook group on Facebook, so, you could fact check this. You can go to that group, search like roofing.
22.7 thousand.
22.7 thousand people. And somebody asked about a roofer and you were there, no less than 15 times. Yeah. And I might be grossly underselling that, right? Somebody in need was looking for a roofing contractor and it was Paramount, right? And the thing of it is, like, not only is that person who has the issue, are they going to reach out to you most likely? Yeah. It's all those other 22,699 people that aren't in need right now. Like, those are brand impressions that are super powerful. Because it's not just like a generalized advertisement or a billboard. It's all these people building you up as an industry.
It's the referral engine.
Yeah.
Right?
It's fucking amazing. And how do you make it happen?
There's a couple different things, right? Like you're building your brand, you're doing well, you're doing good work in the community. But for us, like community is one of our 5-star, so it's a 5-star experience. That's how we live and die by. And one of the stars is community.
Yeah.
So not only do we, we went and laid mulch for the community. We've done a lot of different like events, but we're constantly integrating ourselves into the community. And not only that, but we're creating raving fans. So when we finish with a job, it's like, let me send you something, right? Let me write a review. Let me remind you, we're sending out, our referral program. Like we're always, because with roofing, it's not like grass, right? Where I cut your grass every week. Yeah. Like I don't get recurring customers, right. Maybe 1 or 2 right down the road, but I'm not doing a roof. I'm doing another one at the same house. So how do I stay on top of their mind without pestering them with emails until they spam me, right? Yeah. Keep me on top of mind. So it's the branding. It's the raving fans. It's the community involvement. It's actually being a part of the community and being the team there. So where they're just seeing it all day. So it's on billboards, yard signs, trucks, their website. Every time you open your Facebook, right, there's my face, right? Like it's
a good face.
That's how we do it, So when you're first, to go back to the original question, when you're first building that, you really have to think about like, it's not about the cool trucks and like all these graphics all over your trucks. Because you see it so many times, like you see a wrap truck go by, right? And you can't even read it. There's so much shit on it. Yeah. You can't even read it. So simplicity and just keeping your brand and your colors and everything uniform goes a long way.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a very good point. So I'm going to put you on the spot here because I'm kind of an asshole. That's what I like to do. So you've been in business for a while now. What's one decision that you've made where you look back retrospectively and you're like, I'm so fucking happy I did that?
Oh, there's a lot of those.
Name a few of them that come to mind.
The first one and the hardest one for me was the delegation process. Like you're going from like 3 million to 5 million and believing that, as owners, we think we're the best at everything because we've done it all and we've built it all.
Oh yeah.
To say like, oh, I'm the best sales guy, right? I'm just going to go sell. And then to actually train a team and let them take it. And then you're just, all of a sudden, you're like, man, maybe I was good, right? But the engine still operates and still runs now.
Right.
And that's hard to get past. But when it clicks and it happens, hiring real leaders, that's another one, like real managers. Like you have people that you've grown your business. You have people that you started with, right? Yeah. That you're surrounded with and you're kind of dedicated to.
Sure.
But most of the time you'll find that those aren't real leaders and real managers. Yeah. Where we can be here, hanging out for draft weekend. And I was in Florida all last week, right? My phone's not ringing. It's not vibrating. It's just being taken care of. So.
You hiring?
Yeah. You want to
work? Put me on, eh?
Right. So I think, those are the 2 biggest things where it's like, I regret not doing it sooner. I regret like kind of kicking that can down the road, like trying to mold people versus like bringing people in that can make a difference off the get go. Just like the draft, right? Like first round pick, we're bringing people in that can play. We're not bringing people in that can sit on the bench. Like Cardinals can play.
Yeah, and the people
bring my leaders in, and I want them to play.
Absolutely, and whoever spot he's going to take it's not like he's a terrible cornerback. You know, he's still a professional athlete in the NFL, does well, but we're doing it for the betterment of the team.
Yeah, and it's like when you take your top sales guy and you automatically put him. This isn't my situation, but I know it happens at a lot of companies. You're like, oh, this is my best sales guy, so now I'm going to make him a manager, right? It's a totally different wiring system, right?
Oh yeah.
The guys that are the go-getters and the door knockers and the hustlers are different than the people that are analytical, like keeping track of the KPIs, pushing,
Yeah.
So
I've done sales, I've done collections, and it all has kind of like a same like commission-based structure, heavily incentivized. And like usually it's going to be the people that are successful in the sales position role, they're going to be alphas, they're going to be competitive, they're going to have drive, maybe some vices, right? But so, but like if you bring that into the management perspective, that's not necessarily, I don't think, the traits that you want with that. Also, like when they see other like high performing sales reps, they're typically going to out earn their manager, right? And that's really hard for somebody. If you got somebody that's making $250,000, $300,000 a year in sales, they take a position as a sales manager. I mean, are you paying them $250,000, $300,000?
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Running a hell of a team.
So now we're taking a step back, and let's say we're doing it for fulfillment because we think that's what we want, is that salesperson to transition into a management career. And now they see the next guy making 300, right? And I think that's tough. Yeah. I think it's tough. And I think it's a different set of skills. So I agree with you more.
Different mindset.
Mm-hmm. And then to your point, I think the one thing I wish I would have done sooner is get shit out of my head and on paper.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes hand in hand with like bringing people in and delegating and things like that. And I think that if I would have wrote shit down and seen all these issues on paper consistently in front of me, instead of dealing with them as they come day by day, you blink, a year's gone by and you're like, I'm still dealing with this fucking dumb issue. Like, but there's 37 of them, right? So you're consistently being riddled with, it's like death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Plus, if you're working in the business instead of on the business, you can't even see most of the stuff because you're so like, you got horse blinders on where you can't see yourself beside you. You can only see in front of you, right?
Yeah.
So it's really like training yourself to take that 1,000-foot view where we're looking over top. And we're watching the pieces move versus being in the pieces,
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, for us hunters out there, right? Like you got a bow and arrow and you're shooting a deer at 35 yards and you see him, it hits him, he runs.
Right.
And then you go to find blood and you're like, man, I know he was right here. And you look back at the tree and you weren't even that far away, but you can't even find it, right? You're looking around. So it's kind of the same thing in business, right? It's like you have to be up here because when we're up here and we're running that stuff down and capturing it, we can really make impact,
Let that sink in. That shit's crazy. What have you noticed as far as like changes in the industry, or any impacts of your business in the last 12 months?
I don't know, man. Like maybe I should be more open to, I don't want to say like, I'm very focused on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I just learned. And I was just telling my dad this, because we were talking about private equity companies and stuff. And he's asking me about, what would you entertain that? And it's like, honestly, I feel like I just learned how to actually scale and build something that is, a legacy, like untouched. Like, I feel like I just learned it. So for me, I mean, I know there's stuff changing on the outside. I know like the private equity is coming in. I know that the mergers and acquisitions are happening. And, but I'm so focused on what I'm doing that, no matter what, you're going to find a different, as technology, the internet came out, this comes out, everything, it's always something new, right?
Yeah.
And humans always find a way to survive, and we always find a way to counteract what's coming towards us. So I'm not even, like, I'm just bringing it, like I want to compete against this.
Bring it.
And bring it, like 4 of the bigger companies in our area got bought out in the last 12 months. Right? People are like, oh, what do you think? Like, I don't care. I want to compete. Hey, bring it on. Let's go.
Fuck yeah, let's get it. What would you say, like, let's say you got a company, they're at $1 million and they're residential only, but they want to break into commercial. Like, when is the right time? What are things that they look for to be, because I would assume, like, if you're taking on commercial jobs, like, everyone loves the idea of commercial, big ticket, like, big money. But, like, what if something goes sideways?
Yeah.
Is there a right time for that person? Or are there things that they can do in anticipation of getting into commercial to set them up for success?
Yeah, I mean, I know very few everybody I know in the country, I don't think there's a state I don't know somebody that owns a company, right? So I know very few that have done this success because it's such a different animal. I mean, sure, you can get into coatings, you can get in dabble and stuff, but we're talking about like prevailing wage pay, TPO, Duralast, EPDM. It's a different industry, right?
Yeah.
Everything we do, like we dabbled in it for 5 years. Like, yeah, we do commercial, like kind of what you're talking about. Yeah, we do commercial, but now it's like having superintendents and an entire infrastructure estimators that are just for commercial. It's it's a huge. I mean, it's a huge liability.
Yeah.
We're not working over drywall and TVs now. We're working over servers and who knows millions of dollars of equipment, and you're working with it. It's just a different app. So I think like find your niche. The riches are in the niches, right? Like find your niche. Like if that's what you want to do, then yeah, go full blast. But you can't just dabble in commercial unless it's just coatings. Like we can all coat roofs.
Is there like one tip that you could give somebody who decides, okay, I'm going to dive into commercial? Is there one thing, like through your experience, if you would have known then what you know now, you would have been a lot better off? What is it?
Two things. Find an estimator that knows everything, right? From safety to OSHA standards to like, that's how they're built. Brett is, I mean, man, he's so good. And he came from a huge company. And then the other one is your crews. It's not like, at least for us, it's not like you find subs to just do roofs like we do for residential. It's like all of ours are in house. We pay them all W-2. Like we have in-house crews for and our superintendent is, man, he's got to be the best in the state, and we made the mistake, of just trying to sub it out and not having these key components in place. But, those were the two big ones. Like with these two, again, like getting real leaders and putting them into place, recruiting them from bigger companies with the knowledge and experience instead of just, it's not load up a trailer with a compressor, a gun, and some barrel parts, right? But This is a different animal.
I think those are two really good nuggets.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful.
You're said than done, right?
Sure.
You're said than done because these are uniforms. They exist. And if you create something that they want to be a part of and your marching band's playing loud enough and they want to come play too, then it works.
Okay. Well, that's a nice transition into like, how do you build that culture, right? That culture that people see it, they hear about it, they feel it, and they're like, I want to work for this person. I want to work with these people.
Well, I think all great things start at the top, and I don't want to give myself credit because my team does more than anybody. But it starts at the top where it's like, I'm not afraid to like go and talk to other roofers and congratulate them and do whatever I have to do. Right? Like I'm friends with everybody in the industry.
Yeah,
I think it starts with that where other companies are calling you, asking you for advice, and other business owners, and you're meeting people, and it starts from there because I'm trying to like figure out how to like deliver my point. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm talking about creating the brand. How do you make it go? When you get to a point where you don't have to recruit anymore and people walk in your office asking you for a job or asking to work with you, that's when you can get those higher level people. So the leaders that I'm talking about that are in my space are people that I worked with, right? Or they've seen me like just putting videos out and just being me, right? Like authentically.
Yeah.
And I pay all my people. I owe nobody money. I owe nobody, right? And you never owe anybody. But all those things are what it really takes for guys that actually have a career somewhere to come and leave their career to take this journey with you.
Right.
They have to believe in it, right? They have to believe it.
Yeah, because that type of person, they're probably in a pretty good position, like in their career financially, and in order for them to leave, I mean, it's a huge risk. Yeah. So the more stable you are, the more it seems like they're going to be a part of something that is winning, continuing to grow. With that comes opportunity, upward trajectory in their career path. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'd say that makes a huge impact for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's grind and it's not going to happen overnight. Like I said, you can just advertise to get sub crews or different position sales guys, sales reps. But to get these kind of guys that you need to really build something great, you have to leave, right? And you have to have that track record where they're willing to invest their lives and their families' lives with you.
So the person on the other side of this camera, why should they start doing video today for their business?
It's huge. Content is, I mean, everybody knows and everybody's heard about it. And the number one thing is, I'm going to start doing it, or I don't like to be on camera, or I get nervous. I tell them, just grab your iPhone and start shooting.
Yeah.
Just document what you do and who you really are. And when you do that, it makes such an impact, you know? And everywhere I go, I meet somebody where it's like, hey, I see you on YouTube, or like, you know, in our local grocery store, like, hey, I see you posting your videos on our Facebook, you know, and it's like, yeah, like, man, you did a great job. Like, that's cool, you know?
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's branding too. Like, I don't have to sell you something to get my brand across. I don't have to just be me being me and just documenting what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah, I absolutely love it. And by the way, like, I think anybody who gets on video, regardless of introvert, extrovert, like comfortable with public speaking, I think the first time, like when I first started recording, I still suck at video, I'll say that, but I suck a lot less than I did the first time. Yeah. Like, and I could typically talk in a group of people and I'm fine and I'm sociable. I hit record, I started fucking sweating, I was stuttering. Bro, I mean, it was an absolute dumpster fire. And I'm like, what the fuck? I did this, it was like a 60-second video. And I must have shot the thing 15 times. Yeah. And then like, you'll also evolve and like understand it better. Cause like then if I'd fuck up in a 3-minute video and I'm 30 seconds in, I'm like, okay, I can take a deep breath, restart. And then in post, they can clip it up, right? Yeah, in the beginning, I made a 15-minute video and I kept fucking it up. Dude, it took me like 4 days to shoot this thing because I wanted it perfect through and through because I was just ignorant. I didn't know any better because I didn't get the reps in previously.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like, you know, being repetitive. And a lot of the videos for me, I don't even watch because I don't even want to critique. Like, I just want it to be as real as it gets. Okay, this is what happened. This is how it came out. You know, like Anthony will edit out like if I say something twice or if we have to like edit it, but I don't want to critique myself. You know? Yeah. Like, I just want to get the information out. It's not for me, you know, it's for somebody else. So yeah. Just run it, you know, like
just run it.
And just keep doing it. One of the first times I was on camera, my buddy Keith, he's a big landscaping YouTuber. I think he's got like 160,000 subscribers. He's one of my best buddies. We're in the middle of a mall. It's busy as hell, right? And I didn't even go with him. I was just walking through the mall. All of a sudden, this guy runs up to me with a camera, right? And he's like, all right, we're on video. I'm with Eric Reno, my friend. He owns a roofing company. And I'm like, that was the first time, but it's reps. Right? Yeah. With anything else.
Got to get the reps in.
We got to cut it.
All right. We're getting shut down by security. Thanks for tuning in.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.